Good day to you. I'm LionHeartBlue, and welcome to the continuation of my AI car building series. You might remember in the previous episode we managed to get this little bad boy turning right at these intersections. I've now made the track go all the way around in a circle, and I've given it a quick test, and there are a number of issues that are causing problems. Obviously it only turns right, so if I have multiple cars they're all just going to be going around in a circle anyway. I could have more than one, maybe some that turn right, some that turn left, so it gives the illusion that they're driving around, etc. But there are other issues as well, and we'll come to that in a minute. So let's just turn this on. I might speed up the footage because it does take a while, and you'll see when we get how far we get. So, well, let's go. Okay, as you saw, the turning's not sharp enough, so it hits the wall. I'm sure it wasn't doing that last episode, so I don't know if anything's changed, but anyway. Then we come to these situations where the road doesn't force you to turn right. Well, at the moment I've had to add a block in there, otherwise he's just going to drive here and stop. How I overcome this, I don't know, because maybe sometimes I want him to go forward, sometimes I don't. So at the moment, he will attempt to turn there. Again, turning's not sharp enough, but he gets there and he goes around. And I had to remove the white lines as well, because as it sees the white line it stops. So with a combination of seeing that and the white line, neither of the wheels moved. So now he's just going to drive to the end and stop. So I've got a number of ideas of how we can turn the vehicles, but I wanted it kind of to be as realistic. I keep using that word, and we're in a completely fabricated world environment game. But this block, I'm wondering if I have it on pistons outside here, and we can have it kind of alternating. So when it sees a car coming, it can sometimes it can come out and make the car turn. Other times it will stay out and the car will drive forwards. I'm thinking of doing something like that. But as I say, it's not really realistic. I really want the cars to make the decision, but without adding, I suppose I could add something along the side still, that like a colour or something that it has to sense, which tells it which way to go. But I think we're starting to get into the realms of my ability, or should I say inability. I mean, this is complicated enough for me. I'm trying to think how I now change this up to add a bit more diversity to it. I don't know, so I'm hoping that you might have some suggestions. What I will do is I will take a bit of time out to do this thing that I'm suggesting, and seeing if I can get that to work, and I'll come back, and at least that's an option, if none of you have any other suggestions. So let me do that and I'll come back. Okay, so this is kind of my crude idea, but you'll see what... Actually, I'll explain it first. So there's a sensor here which is looking for a coloured block, which is that blue block, which tells it to push these pistons out. And then once it's turned around here, there's a piston here which is looking for the same blue block, which will retract the pistons. And this is how it works. This is how it works. See, so it saw that blue block, it's retracted, it's opened it. Sorry, opened it, then over here retracted it. I can have vehicles without the blue blocks, which would mean that they will travel forwards, or I could get this to alternate. So sometimes I'm sure I can do it with logic. In fact, maybe that's what happened before. Let me grab it. No, yeah, so it'll happen every time, but so I could have some vehicles without the blue bits, or I could have some with different colours and have different ones triggering them. It's not ideal, it's not really what I wanted, but at the moment I can't think of anything else. So obviously I'd have to build this in a way that I could just it's got to fit in the ScrapChat village, in ScrapChat Summit, and that's my concern, because this will either be stuck in someone's house. Yeah, I don't think these are so much of a concern. I just have to make sure I choose a colour that isn't going to be on anything else. The only other thing is, like I said, to get it to read something on the floor. So like we've got it stopping on this white line. Maybe I can get it to alternate between just turning left and turning right, and then having similar, I think maybe not a white line, but maybe a grey line, which tells it to turn right, and these junctions here. I think that's probably going to be the neatest, rather than having these things sticking out. But I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Yeah. Well, I am welcoming your suggestions on how to proceed with this. One final test I want to do is just having a couple and seeing if they will, well, don't bump into each other. So I'll get that set up and we'll do that test, and let's see how that goes. So there's a whole new issue if there's more cars driving around. So I've got that one driving around, turning right. It's doing pretty okay. If I want this one to go left, well, yeah. So it was using these sensors in the front. Hang on. Let me get rid of those sensors at the front to find the wall and then turn right. Well, if I do that here, I need to add a wall for a start, and then if I turn left, I'm going to be on the wrong side of the road. So I'm going back to the fact that I think I need to read something on the ground. I think that's the only thing I can do. So this white line might change to be a different shade of white or something. Anyway, so this car's about to come. It will start turning left in a minute, and I'm going to attempt to see if they avoid bumping into each other. So let's see what happens. Well, I don't know when to start it. Maybe now. Brilliant. Well, they both stop, but yeah. So if I move this one out of the way, that one should carry on. So unfortunately, there's not many solutions in this video, and more problems than anything else. But I'm hoping that you will be able to comment down below and give me some suggestions on how you think I should proceed. I really look forward to your comments and your suggestions. I hope we can come up with something, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Take care. So I was just editing that last video, and I suddenly had a thought. The sensors on the front are set to detect 7 blocks away. So that's why they get here, they see the block 7 blocks away, and then they turn right. So why couldn't I set the blocks to detect the maximum amount of blocks away, so 20 blocks away, and turn left? So that's what I've tried. What happened was the vehicle started to turn, and then the blocks were no longer, well then now they're greater than 20 blocks away, so it started to go forwards here. So I added 2 more sensors on the front at the bottom, pointed, angled slightly out, so they, as you're turning, they're keeping an eye on the blocks there. So I mean, it's not perfect, but I think we're kind of getting there. So I've now got 2 vehicles. I've got one, I've painted the wheels here purple to match the purple motor, so I know this one's the one that's set up to turn left, and that one's painted blue to turn right. And I added a further logic gate on the top. So these were set up originally. Let me get my thing up. So this one here is set up as an OR gate. So well, it was an AND. So it's saying if this and this see this coloured block here, then it would turn right. Obviously now it's turning left. And obviously I had this one and this one, but because it's turning and there's a longer distance, it's a possibility that some of these will no longer be seeing that coloured block, so these need to be ORs, and in fact it probably makes more sense that they're ORs. So if any of these see that coloured block, they will turn. So let's just show you what I mean. We come over here, you'll see that as it starts moving in a second, it will already, see, it's already spotted those blocks and it starts to turn, and it just, oh well, this time it worked perfectly. Okay, well, it hasn't up until now. It kept crossing this white line and then getting confused, but I think that's quite a positive, and obviously if there's a way I can alternate that, so I'll be interested to know if I set up, let me get something to point with. So if I set up 2 sets of these logic gates, one that operates left and one that operates right, is there a way to alternate whether, yeah, what am I trying to say? There obviously is. I can get a logic gate to, I guess, randomly pick left or right, turn left or right. So I'll have to think about that, and maybe you've got an idea. But anyway, I'm going on longer than I wanted to, so I just thought I'll bring it back for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.